Hey fellow garage golfers, Roland here with Garage Golf, where we provide extraordinary golf info for the extraordinary golfer. And as the saying goes, it's good to be the king. Thanks again for watching and welcome back. Here at Garage Golf, we provide information on golf products, golf equipment, golf simulators, and pretty much info on anything golf related. So if you're new to our channel, please make sure to subscribe and click the bell notification for future videos like the one that you received here today. Also, as always, if you have any questions on building out your own golf simulator or questions on any products we review here on the channel, make sure to reach out to me anytime at roland@mygaragegolf.com. Check out our landing page at www.rainorShineGolf.com/garagegolf. And also check our video description for any affiliate links we may have for products that we've reviewed or anything that we have here in our golf simulator. It helps out the channel. We greatly appreciate it, and it's at no additional extra cost to you. Of course, if you have any questions, we're always here to help. Let's jump right into the video. All right, super exciting day for us here at Garage Golf. Cobra Golf was kind enough to send us their King Tour copper irons, and we got the entire set that we're gonna be testing out here at Garage Golf. Looking forward to doing that. And as a middle handicapper, I'm gonna be really honest, these things are a little scary for me to hit, so I'm looking forward to testing it out. We're also gonna have Danny come in and test it out. He's our lower handicap golfer. We're really looking forward to doing a lot of really cool things here, both in the simulator and on the golf course eventually as well, to show you our thoughts about the King Tour copper irons. And these things are absolutely gorgeous. Let's give you a little bit more detail on what Cobra put into these irons. So before we get to the website, I gotta show you these clubs. I can't wait any longer. These things are absolutely gorgeous. As you see that awesome copper color really makes these clubs pop. For the purposes of the video today, we're gonna be testing out the 4-iron, the 7-iron, and the pitching wedge. So I'm gonna show you some shots of each of those clubs in a little bit more detail, as far as some of the technology as well that comes into it. I'll also show you the club at address behind the ball, so you get an idea as far as what it looks like. A very classic look, not a lot of chunk to the back of these clubs. I'll show you them at address as well, so you're gonna see that you're not gonna really see any offset or anything behind that club at address, which is what the players' irons, that's what people are looking for. As you see here, the 4-iron that we're looking at. I'm gonna show you also the 7-iron here in just a moment. And then lastly, we're gonna show you the pitching wedge. So you see a very classic design, great looking club. And then here you see all three together, and you're gonna notice that the 7 and the 4-iron have the tungsten weighting in the toe. That's gonna help a little bit with forgiveness. So let's go ahead now and take you to Cobra's website. I'm gonna show you a little bit more info about these clubs and more detail. So I wanna show you quickly on Cobra's website. We got the 3 Kings that we talked about. Here on the left, you see the Ricky Fowler edition, forged MBs. The middle clubs here, the King MIM Technology Tour, these are the ones we're gonna be testing today. And then we also have the King Forged Tech. So we're gonna be testing out the King MIM Technology Tour irons, or the King Tour copper irons, and this copper color is absolutely gorgeous. So I wanna show you a little bit of the technology that they also put into these clubs. And you can expect these irons out sometime in late March according to Cobra's website. They're gonna run around $13.99. They also have the King MIM Technology Tour, not in copper, but to be honest with you, the copper is absolutely gorgeous. I definitely think it's something that's gonna stand out in your bag, and definitely something that's really cool. So, and again, they use the metal injection molding, or the MIM technology, that delivers the soft feel of the forging, but with a quicker and more efficient manufacturing method. And it's a revolutionary process that allows Cobra to produce the most precise iron shape with the softest feel. They do come with the Cobra Lambkin Crossline Connect, which is the black grip. It does have the Cobra Connect system in it, so you can utilize that as well. And as far as what we're testing here, we're checking out the KBS Money Taper, the stiff, which is a taper tip. We got 120 gram weight all the way throughout the entire set of irons. So that's definitely a little bit different than what I'm used to. I have the King F9 1 length, so that's definitely something that I'm looking to see how that affects my swing and what I do. So we're also gonna be testing out these irons versus the King F9 1 lengths, which are obviously more geared towards someone with a higher handicap. We're gonna see how much difference we're getting on both spin numbers, carry, and pretty much ease of use as far as how we can hit these irons as well. And here you see side by side the specs between the 2 clubs that we'll be testing as well. So I wanted to also show you and demonstrate to you that the King Tour copper irons, they start more of a traditional loft that you would normally see. So the 4-iron starts around 23 degrees, versus the 4-iron with the King F9 one length at 19.5. Let's test out the 7-iron at 33 degrees versus 29.5 degrees. And then of course the pitching wedge we'll test out as well at 45 degrees versus 44 degrees. So we're gonna test these side by side. We're gonna see obviously how much easier each one would be to hit. Obviously this is geared towards a different handicap, but we're also gonna check on feel and what we think about each of these irons in comparison to each other as well, since we are using this as a base method for our testing moving forward. So we're gonna look at that, we're gonna check it out, we're gonna play a few cool games between Danny and myself from different handicaps. Looking forward to bringing it all to you right now. So test number 1, Danny and I are gonna hit 5 solid shots using the pitching wedge, the 7-iron, and the 4-iron with the King Tour Coppers. We've already tested out the King F9 before. We're gonna be using the Titleist Pro V1 golf ball throughout every single shot. We're gonna make sure we're getting accurate numbers. And I just wanna see side by side from my handicap, which is around say 13 handicap, and Danny's, which is around a 5. I wanna see the difference between the numbers between the two clubs first. We'll also give you our feedback on the feel of it, as well as any other things that we notice about this club through our testing. Then we're gonna have a few other mini games and a few other things to check out for you as well. Looking forward to bringing it to you. And for all of our testing using the Titleist Pro V1 golf ball today, we're gonna be using the Uneekor EYEXO. It's a really, really awesome simulator product. It's gonna give us both club and ball data. If you have any questions on the Uneekor EYEXO, reach out to me and let us know. And as we stated, we took all shots with the Uneekor EYEXO. It's a really awesome simulator program. It's gonna give us all the data that we need in regards to shots. I did tape up the clubs as well, so we're getting accurate club data. You're gonna see Danny, he's dressed a little differently on the beginning part because this is a testing that we recently did on our Pro V1 versus Pro V1X golf balls. And here you see, this is our most recent testing that we did. So we hit numerous shots. We had about 10, 15 shots each with each club that we tested. And we took our top 5 shots. So obviously we're not professional golfers here. So we did want to make sure that we had accurate shots. So we made sure we took our solid shots, ones that we know were going to reflect true and accurate ball data. And you see Danny testing all the different clubs that we were testing out. The pitching wedge, we tested out the 7-iron, and we also tested out the 4-iron. And then you see Danny taking the shots. The numbers will reflect on the bottom of the screen, but we're gonna go over all the numbers with you here at the end as well. Just to give you a really good idea as far as what we were doing, how we were testing this. We did take some breaks obviously in between to make sure that we didn't get tired and make sure our numbers weren't skewed. So you see Danny taking all of his shots, and I'll walk you through mine here as well in just a few minutes. But really, really cool testing. Have a great time testing with the Uneekor EYEXO. It's very accurate and gives us really good numbers that we could ultimately use to determine how we're hitting each club and how everything's treating us as far as accurate shots and when we're not actually making good contact. And here you see myself, of course. So our obviously swing quality may be degraded a bit with my mid handicap level, but you know what? That's what it's all about. It's all about testing this from an everyday average golfer's perspective. And when we reached out to these companies asking for us to give us an opportunity to test clubs, we really felt that that was what was missing out there in today's market, was someone testing this from an everyday average golfer's perspective. I know the big channels out there, I know the big names out there where everyone's hitting these shots 300 yards, 250 yards with irons. You know, this is just obviously not the everyday average golfer. And you see my shots here, testing out different clubs such as the 7-iron. I think it's gonna be very reflective of what you would see on a regular basis out on a golf course, you know, 80, 90% of us out there. So that's definitely something that was important to us when we were doing the testing, to make sure we keep this as accurate as possible. I would have loved to have Gilbert as well. He's our high handicap golfer. Although these particular King Tour copper irons are probably not good for him. Very difficult to hit probably in his situation. Even for myself, I had some struggles with the clubs, but I did get some solid shots in that we're gonna go over the numbers here in the end. And it was something that I really, really thought we would share with you guys and give you an idea as far as how our experience went. So looking forward to bringing those numbers to you. We'll be bringing those to you here shortly. I wanted to show you the shots first. Let's go ahead and jump into the numbers here in just a minute.
That's probably as good as it's gonna get.
So jumping into the numbers now, I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can for you guys, but I did want to show you the baseline between the King Tour copper irons and of course the King F9 one lengths that we have here in the studio. And we're going to start off with Danny first. Obviously Danny's more of a consistent striker, so I want to show you his numbers first to give you a better idea as far as what we're looking at. On the top, obviously, you're going to see the King Tour Copper, and on the bottom, where it says Danny Pro V1 pitching wedge, that's actually with the King F9 one length. So let's look at numbers. Carry distance, 122.5 versus 120.9. Actually, he was carrying the King Tour Coppers a little bit further. We're going to look at total distance, 126.2 versus 124.2. Ball speed, 98.2 with the King Tour Copper, 97.5. Club head speed was pretty close, but across the board. He actually got more spin with the King F9 on average at 92.82 versus 85.16 with the King Tour Copper. And we're going to look at also things like apex. Now with the apex, King Tour got up in the air a little higher, 106.1 versus 100.8, and a higher flight time as well. And keep in mind that all of this testing is done with a Pro V1 golf ball. In fact, the exact same Pro V1 golf ball. We wanted to make sure we kept these numbers as accurate as possible for you. So let's go ahead and jump now into the actual 7-iron for him as well. Here we are with the 7 irons, and now as we start to go up the clubs now, or basically down the clubs from the pitching wedge to the 4-iron, I think we may see a little bit of discrepancy with carry distances, obviously because this is a tour iron. As you see here, the King Tour Copper carried 162.4 versus 174.8 with obviously a much larger cavity back King F9 one length. And again, these are multiple shots that we took. We took our best 5 solid shots. Obviously, we're not pro golfers here, but we're going to try to make sure we have consistent shots across the board with both testing. So this is what we did here. Total distance 167.8 with the King Tour Copper, 182 with the Pro V1, or basically the King F9 one lengths. Let's look at club data, 86.5 versus 87.8, and ball data, 117 on average with the King Tour Copper, 121.9 with the Pro V1 7-iron. Backspin 6208 with the Pro V1, 6208 with the King Tour Copper, 5366 with the King F9. So again, getting more spin with those King Tour Coppers, which we would expect, I believe, as well. Total apex 113.1 versus 116.1. King F9s were getting up a little bit higher and also having a little bit higher flight time as well. And lastly, moving on to the 4-iron, you're going to see this one actually transverse from what you've been seeing. I wish I could swap that around for you, but that is one flaw of the Uneekor View software that I can't change, unfortunately. So you're going to see the Cobra King F9 on the top on this one and the Cobra King Tour on the bottom. So obviously carry distance higher with the Cobra King F9, 200.7 versus 193.1. Total distance 213.6 versus 202.7. Ball speed 130.6 versus 129. Obviously, these are going to be close across the board. Although Danny was getting the King Tour Copper for whatever reason, he was swinging it faster, even though it is a more heavy club. So I believe on the King F9s, I believe it's an 80-gram shaft when you go down to the 4-iron. And on the King Tour Coppers, it's a 120-gram shaft throughout the entire set. So I'm surprised with that number there a little bit. Backspin 38.54 with the King F9s, 45.55 with the King Tour Coppers. Again, obviously getting much more spin with the King Tour Copper irons as well. And then lastly, looking at apex 93.1 versus 95.6 with the King Tour Copper, getting the ball up in the air more with the 4-iron with the King Tour Copper as well. 6.3 seconds average flight time. So comes down to this. Danny's points with these clubs are obviously very, very smooth feeling when you hit them. You're going to know when you miss hit them. If you hit it off the toe, if you hit it off the hill, you definitely feel it. But it's very easy for him as around a 5 handicap to make contact with it, get it up in the air. You do lose a little bit of yardage. And again, remember, a large part of that is due to the specifications of the clubs and the lofts being a little bit different by around 3 to 4 degrees total on the loft. So that's to be expected. We're not really looking at the total carry. We're really getting a feel for spin, other things as far as how easy it was to hit. He really enjoyed hitting these irons, thought it was a great fit for him and for his swing. And as you see, Danny's swing speed with the clubs are about 88 to 93 range with irons, and with the driver, he swings somewhere around the 115 range if you've seen some of our videos before. So from a lower handicap perspective, these things were spot on for him, easy to hit, smooth, but also giving him the feedback that he's looking for when he mishits a shot as well. So moving from the low handicap golfer to the mid handicap golfer, let's jump into my numbers now. I want to show you those as well. Try not to laugh at home. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to get to them together, and then we're going to move on to our Garage Golf Challenge of the week using these King Tour Copper irons. All right, and here we are in my numbers now. Again, the King Tour Copper is going to be on the top, and the Pro V1 is going to be the same as the King F9 one lengths in the pitching wedge. So Total carry, 111 on average versus 107.4 with the King F9s. I'm actually getting the pitching wedge. I'm actually carrying it further than I am with the King F9, believe it or not. Total distance, 116.12 versus 112. Smash factor, 1.25 versus 1.23. Ball speeds were both very similar. Club speeds, both very similar. Backspin, 6393 versus 6390. Very, very similar across the board. Launch angles, very similar as well. Apex 67.7 versus 64.1, and flight time 4.9 versus 4.7. So I'm getting a little higher with the King Tour Coppers. I'm also getting it up in the air a little bit more with the pitching wedge. So let's move on to the 7-iron now. And now moving into the 7-iron, we're going to see a loss of distance again. Again, remember the specifications are different between 7-irons all the way down to 4. The pitching wedges are very close, so you're going to see numbers very comparable. But with the 7-iron, I'm losing obviously some carry, 147.9 with the King Tour versus 158.4 with the King F9 1 lengths. Total distance, 156.6 versus 167.2 there on the bottom. Ball speed, 104.7. I'm getting more ball speed with the King F9 at 109.9. Club speed, 75.6 versus 81.5. Backspin, a little bit less with the King Tour, 44.79 versus 45.23. We'll look at Apex 77.9 versus 85.6. So the ball's actually getting up more in the air with the King F9 1 lengths. And then flight time 5.5 versus 5.7. So again, remember obviously some discrepancies with my shots because of my handicap and the ability to be able to hit these shots more cleanly. And you're going to see that now as we move into the 4-iron as well. All right, and again, with the 4-iron, it's going to be transposed again. It goes based upon alphabetical order, so my apologies for that. King F9's on the top. I'm actually pretty impressed with the numbers with the 4-iron for me, for my specific swing. So carry distance with the King F9 on average, 175.5 versus 174.4 with the King Tour Copper irons. Total distance, 194.5 versus 187.3. And you got to remember, we're looking 3 to 4 degree difference in the actual specifications there as well. Ball speed, 115.1 with the King F9, 118.8 with the King Tour Copper iron. So I had a good session with hitting those when we were taking some shots with the 4-iron and got into a little bit of a groove there with the King Tour, which was good. Club speed, a little bit faster, 82.9 versus 77.5. Backspin, 26.85, getting more backspin at 37.66 with the King Tour Coppers. So that was great. Launch angle slightly lower, 15.8 versus 13.3. Descent angles are almost identical. Apex 67.5 versus 65.7. Lower apex with the King Tour, and a slightly higher flight time with the King Tour Coppers. Now, comes down to this. For me, as a 13 handicap or so, and trending towards a 14 to 15 handicap recently with the way my golf game's been going, is it a good club for me? Does it fit me perfectly? Absolutely not. No, it's not the right club for me, most likely. I would probably lean towards the King Tour Forged, or actually the King Forged Tech irons, in copper, of course, because those things are gorgeous, and they're actually really, really beautiful clubs. But as far as for testing purposes, I wanted to get my hands on this as well and give you a mid-handicap perspective. For the mid-handicappers out there, can you hit these clubs? Obviously, yes, you can hit them. Are they going to be as forgiving as something like a King F9 1 length? No, you're going to lose a lot of forgiveness there. And I think if I were to play around the golf with these, I'd probably lose about maybe 5 to 10 strokes just because of distance and other things that I'm losing. So that's just my opinion. Really good feeling clubs when you hit it, but my hands hurt after this session because I mishit a lot of these shots as well, and you really do feel it when you hit it off the toe and when you hit it off the heel. So got to work on that. And again, a lot of that is just practice, which I don't have a lot of time to do, unfortunately. Even though I do run this channel, I don't get in here a lot to just do practice and have the practice sessions that I need to. That's something I got to work on in the future to get my handicap down. But definitely something I wanted to share with you. I thought the numbers are very interesting. I want to hear your feedback on the numbers and see what you think between a lower handicap perspective and someone like me in a mid-handicap level. I do love the clubs. I think they're obviously very, very beautiful clubs. They're great-looking clubs. They're classic-looking, and I would definitely love them in my bag. But are they going to be the best option for me, especially even out of this series? No, I don't think so. I think for myself personally, the King Forge Tech irons would be more of a good fit for me. So possibly I can test those down the road for you guys as well, see what you think. But let me know if you have any questions on any of the numbers. And now we're going to jump right into our Garage Golf Challenge, which 3 holes. It's a cool game that we play here. We're going to do some testing using only these irons. So I'm going to take you guys to that now and see what you think. And let's see who comes out on top in this week's Garage Golf, which 3 holes challenge. Ba-da-da-da-da, which 3 holes? Ba-da-da-da-da, let us know. You'll pick 3 holes from your favorite course. We'll play them each for better or worse. We'll try to play them each out bogey free, but most likely we'll shoot a +2 or 3. Which 3 holes? Yeah. It's time for this week's, you know what we're playing.
Which 3 holes?
Which 3 holes? So this one's going to be a little bit different. We're using nothing but the Cobra King Tour copper irons. That means par 5, 1 par 4, and 1 par 3. Nothing but irons, no drivers, no mulligans.
No mercy.
That's right. We're doing that now. Let's see who's going to come up on top. Now, because I suck a little bit more, we're going to do this as match play. So we're going to see who wins best out of 3. Game on.
Whatever.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're at iconic number 7, 104 yards to the pin with a 28-foot drop. Good old trusty pitching wedge. Let's see how we do.
Uh-oh.
No! Oh, what a kick.
What a good
What a bad kick.
What a good kick for
What
me.
a bad kick.
100 yards with your pitching wedge.
What a bad kick.
Should have probably hit it harder.
What a bad kick.
All right, so we only got 4 through pitching wedge with a set. Otherwise, we'd probably be using the gap wedge, but we're going to take about a 3/4 pitching wedge shot here. Hopefully. That's left. Dope.
Ooh.
All right, we're in opposite bunker, sir.
Chip off. That was a good shot. That was a good shot. That was a good shot.
Oh, my God. All right, that's tough with the pitching wedge from the bunker. That's tough.
Tough to stop the ball there.
It's tough to stop.
It's tough to stop.
Ooh.
That was a difficult shot. I'm not going to lie to you.
That was tough.
That was a tough shot with the pitching wedge, but hey. That I made it in 1 putt. Oh, auto putted 2. I would have made a 30-foot putt. I don't know what this auto thing's talking about here.
All right, no putters allowed, but when I'm off the green, so I'm going to use the pitching wedge. Get a nice little putt there from 10 feet away.
Oh, you're probably
Stop!
Probably 2 putt from 12 feet though.
2 putt from 2 feet away. 1 putt for the victory.
Where would
1 putt. All tied up on the first hole.
All right, so we're tied after 1 hole. We're at number 8, par 4, 114 yards away. I'm going to be using a 4-iron off the tee. Hopefully put it in the fairway somewhere and see where we go from there.
It's a good solid strike, sir.
It's not bad.
Not gonna lie to you.
Not bad.
I
Into
don't think I got that in me.
20-mile-an-hour wind.
Good shot. All right, so we are 412 yards away. I'm going to the 5-iron just because I just don't need to use the 4-iron, so pretty much. Maybe because I can't hit the 4-iron that well, but we'll leave that between us. All right, well, that sucked, but I'm going to go with it and see if we can get there. Just trying to progress it towards the hole. We're going to go with a 6-iron. All right, so I'm in the rough, so I am losing power and I'm losing spin. So E6 Connect, that's one of the newer things that they did, which is kind of cool. So I know I'm going to be losing some power. I'm going to use the 6-iron on this shot. Just try to advance it closer towards the hole.
That was a good strike.
Way past the fairway. All right, we'll take it. We're getting there. Average golfers assemble!
So I'm 226 away. Got the 5-iron in my hand. Probably won't make the green from here, but I just want to put it in a good spot.
Man, you're good. Must hit it on the face of the club and everything.
It's not a bad stroke.
Okay. You saw me punch it and punch it again. So now I'm 162 yards away. I'm 11 feet downhill. I'm not going to tell you what club I'm using until after I hit it, and we'll see if it works out.
Stay. Stay. Get a kick. Wow, what a kick. Nice shot.
It was only a 4-iron. Getting closer though.
So we're 30 yards away. I got the pitching wedge in my hand. Gives me an opportunity to see what kind of stopping power and backspin I can generate for a little chip shot.
You dirty dog, you. I'm already out of this hole.
3,800 on a little chip shot. I'll take that. That's a one putt for a par. Absolutely.
So I
Par,
got a hole
ladies and
out.
gentlemen.
I got a hole out from here. I can still hole out.
You can still hole out.
So I said I can still hole out, and Danny said, well, hell could also freeze over. And I said, well, Texas did just have snow for like 2 weeks in a row, so there's a good chance. I like it. I'm losing a little bit of spin and power here. Oh my God, not that much spin and power. Oh, wait.
Oh.
That close.
So close.
Little Texas wedge putter.
Yet so far.
Down one hole now. We got one hole to go. I'm down 1 hole to nothing. We're on the last hole, which is hole number 18, Pebble Beach, 500 yards. No driver, no 3-wood, no hybrids. We're starting off probably using 4-iron. See how many shots it takes us to get into that hole from here. Danny's up first. Shot, 4-iron?
4-iron.
Okay. All right.
In the fairway. In the fairway.
All right, going out there at least. Still up. 370 away, we're chugging along the fairway. Let's get it closer. That's all I got right now. I'm gonna have to take it.
So I have about 345 left. I pull out the 5-iron. I want to try to give myself somewhere between 150 and 160 in. See if we can do it. Same spot. Less distance.
Ooh, right inside the fairway.
Right inside the fairway. All right.
Okay, so since I don't have a driver in my hand, I'm not going to get 240 yards. So we're going to go with a club that's going to give me somewhere around, hopefully, 190 yards into the green for a nice shot and hopefully hit par on this hole. That's probably not a good sign.
Good shot. Lefty exactly 100
All right,
yards.
so I'll be about 100 yards just like I wanted for my 4th shot.
So I'm about 187 to the flagstick. I got my 5-iron again to see if I can get it on the green, and probably 2-putt for par. Trying to hold it. Trying.
Ooh, good shot.
Knowing them, they're going to tell me I'm a 3-putt from there.
How far away are you there? 22 feet away. It's probably a 2-putt for par.
It's probably a 2-putt for par. Let's see.
2 putt for par.
2 putt
All right.
for par.
I got 2 shots.
Got 2 shots. Not bad.
All right, so I'm 101 yards away, and I know this computer is going to want to shaft it to me at the end here, so I got to get it within like 5 feet, hopefully, to even have a chance to tie this hole. All right, come on. Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
It's tracking.
Oh, it even stopped. Look at that spin. All right, 1 putt. 1 putt me.
Uh-oh.
1 putt me for the tie. Don't you do me like that, E6 Connect. What are you laughing at? You know he's going to do me wrong.
2!
Oh, come on. Jeez.
You know it, and I know it. That would have been a 2 putt.
All right, so that's the end of our Garage Golf Witch Tree Hole Challenge with the King Tour Copper Irons. Today's winner is Danny. Of course, he probably should have won, right? He's a lower handicap golfer, and I still kept it close, and even though I'm hitting the ball quite poorly today, but I'm going to give you your 15 seconds, sir. Go on ahead.
Appreciate that. That's manly of you. Also want to thank Cobra for sending over the clubs. They were awesome. Great feel. Love the color. Love the look. Big fan of them for sure. And then I also want to thank Roland again for giving me the opportunity to win today. I know he didn't hit his best shots, but that doesn't matter to me because I won. So I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys, for watching. Appreciate it. Had a really good time filming this video. Looking forward to hopefully taking these out on the golf course for you as well. We had a great time. Good feel. What do you think of the irons overall?
And I love them. I really did. I really like the look, the feel, the color. I'm more of
oh man,
flashy.
the color. The color.
The color.
Yeah.
It's copper.
I
Beautiful.
always say back in black, but no, back in copper. These things are sweet.
Yes, they
absolutely gorgeous. Cobra, you guys did a fantastic job with that. Really, really huge fan. It's a little bit tough for me to hit as a mid-handicap, probably 15 to 13 range handicapper, but doesn't mean I couldn't practice and get better, right? Definitely.
I mean, practice.
I mean, in theory, that could happen.
You have this
Yeah.
place.
Okay. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up. Greatly appreciate that. Make sure to join our Facebook group down below. That's where we communicate with you guys at home. If you have any questions on any golf simulator needs, check out our landing page at www.rainorShineGolf.com/GarageGolf. And of course, if you have any questions on the King Tour Copper Irons, reach out to me anytime at roland@mygaragegolf.com. I'll point you in the right direction. Again, we're going to hopefully take these out for some testing outdoors as well. Look forward to doing that, and I'm sure I'll be much, much better by then with these irons. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Next Olympics.
Sure. Hey, that's the summer, so good. All right, next Olympics. Thanks again, guys. Let us know if you have any questions. As always, until the next time we see you, keep on golfing. We'll see you again.